I'm going to take Jonathan's idea of standing on chairs because this is really high, so I'm going to hit this. So, we've heard a lot of opinions. People have sort of talked about a lot of thoughts, but we also know that with the amount of people we have here, not everybody can have a chance to speak. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be sort of trying to organize and write some of those ideas a little quieter, a little more sitting on our butts. But we're going to try to hear from all of you. Let me grab my sheet of paper. The idea that we want to be real big with. So each of you, what we're going to do in just a sec is everybody's going to take a seat. And there are note cards, and we'll be passing around big old markers. But the question that we want people to have on your minds right now is what would make Chicago more awesome? We know all of you have come here with some ideas and pieces and things that you want to address. And so all of you are going to have some note cards. And what we want you to do is on each note card, write down those ideas, maybe do about 2 or 3 of those ideas, 1 idea per card. Write big. These cards, we're going to be putting them on a wall, so try to make it so they're as visible as much of the distance as possible. And don't write more than like 3 to 7 words. So the thing you're going to be writing about is what would make Chicago awesome. And I know everybody here has some ideas. So for example, Steve, what do you got? What would make Chicago awesome?
I think that we should have more bike count data, so we know how many people are on the street biking.
So bike count data.
Period.
Write that on a card.
I suggest 3, 4 with 2, 3.
We're going to get to that.
Got it. Okay.
Let's see. Who else has got something? Beck.
Open data is part of the data collection process at the city level.
Open data collection. All right. Yeah. Kara.
I think being able to report or give props to CTA, like individual drivers, or like the bus you're on, or the place you're standing.
On the card, props to CTA or other services.
All right. So does everybody sort of have an idea of what this is?
Does it have to be data related?
It doesn't have to be data related. You want to say more parts?
Cubs win.
Cubs win. So what I want everybody to do is find a seat. We're going to take 8 quiet minutes individually. I know it's hard after coming off from this fun, but we're going to cool it down a little bit. If you could just write down, 2 to 3 or 4 cards of things that you think would make Chicago awesome. We're going to do that now. If you need a pen, just raise your hand once you find a seat, and we'll have some people come around with pens.
And fire them out. They don't have to be high commitment things, because we're going to aggregate these and count. So lots and lots of ideas is better than 1 or 2 that you really believe in.
Infrastructure to facilitate teaching and creating teachers. Easier ways for communities to learn about and replicate small projects from others. Wow, that is not one. Money for civic startups. Explain this OpenGov stuff. Better design trains, EPA to improve experience. Citizen-generated data on police stops, pedestrians and drivers. Tax increment finance exposure, TIP exposure. Cross-sector collaboration, arts, entrepreneurs, tech, nonprofit. No traffic congestion.
As long as you have roads, you'll have congestion.
Events that bring street-level orgs together with tech people. All right. Mandatory entrepreneurial programming, digital literacy, education at CTCS or CTS. Citizen Sustainable Transportation Leaderboard. Better connections between communities. Safer roads. Recruit computer science and poli-sci majors into CFA Brigade. Tech nonprofit exchange program. Yeah. Citizen involvement to influence policy decisions. We have a lot of groups here. All right, I gotta give these back to you guys. All right.
Okay. Truce between union and non-union construction.
Yeah.
Everyone gets voter registration.
Yay. Woo.
Adopt a sidewalk, centralized portal. Wolfram Alpha for Chicago. Jargon watch there. Somebody can explain what that means later. Broader public transportation into suburbs. There's a lot of abbreviation on that. Libraries as incubators. Better evaluation of social programs. More transit everywhere. A way to give props to CTA. Easier to fix and use vacant buildings. Any more? More jobs. Yes, please. Better education. Smart government. That's 3 things. Civic Idea website where people can vote. I'm paraphrasing. That's all I got.
All right. So for the ones we may need some more reading. Is there any trends that people see?
Transit.
All right.
Education.
Education, what's that?
Intergroup connection.
All right, hold on a
Yes,
sec.
yes,
Let's try
yes,
to
yes,
pull
yes.
some of these together.
So we have transit, we have
We've got
education.
transit, so no traffic congestion. Better designed trains to improve experience. Innovation over there, Jonathan?
CTA props.
CTA, props,
Jonathan, there's safer roads right there.
safer roads.
Thank you. Safer roads.
Yeah, the
Sustainable
suburban one.
transportation leaderboard.
That the red one.
More transit everywhere. If we lose any, we'll pick them up next.
All right, I heard education next, right? Does anybody see any education
Here's
cards?
better education.
Better education.
Here's mandatory entrepreneurship education and some other stuff. Anybody else see any that I'm missing?
There's a
Explain this open gov stuff. Does that work? Should we do that with gov?
Libraries and incubators.
Libraries as incubators. Tech nonprofit exchange program. I think that's education.
Collaboration.
Okay, so there's a collaboration clump. Let's do that one for a minute. Collaboration.
I got cross-sector collaboration, arts, entrepreneurs, tech, nonprofits.
Sounds good. Recruit computer science and political science people into CFA brigade.
Yeah.
That pink one at the top helps communities learn from each other.
Easier ways for communities to learn and replicate. This is a public tech and Wi-Fi infrastructure, but it's got an education thing to it. It's supposed to facilitate teaching and creating teachers. Sure, education. Wait, where's education?
That's
transportation.
transportation, yeah.
I've got the wrong sign.
All right. Oh, this is a transit one. More transit into the burbs. Better connections between neighborhoods is a connection one.
That might be
Towards the transit.
Oh, is this,
No,
is
no,
this
that's
like,
collaboration.
That's collaboration.
This is, yeah, you mean like sort of connection meaning networking, not actual streets and trains. Okay. Important clarification, thank you. All right, I think we have an open go. Or we've got a few, but
Better data infrastructure, we talked about.
Or like transparency. Transparency in government?
Transparency, so OpenGov, transparency in government, more citizen involvement, so sort of openness plus participation.
Transit be more traffic.
Okay, so maybe just transportation in the most general sense, not necessarily trains.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so safe streets. I think at the granular level it is, but we can change the label. So collaboration, we need something, openness and participation as a theme.
Participation?
Yeah, we can say participation. OpenGov is kind of a participation issue. Yeah.
I like to call it
Love.
Or love.
Love. We're just going to put a picture of John on there. I kind of like love. We should always have a love group.
All right, and that's right. Where's love go?
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. And I kind of see a physical stuff section that isn't really. All right, so love, we're going to put smart government there, and we're going to put TIF there. That's probably the first time anyone has ever associated the tax increment finance program with love. Perhaps one of the less loved things about Chicago. Well, someone is getting the love, it's true. Yeah. Legal advice for software, I thought it was Southwest. Okay, for software developers who want to help.
Collaboration.
Okay, so collaboration, done. Citizen-generated data on police stops, is that also love? The increasingly misnamed love.
It's definitely.
Well, there's a few data I feel like that don't necessarily. Some of these are about people.
Okay.
Like explaining this OpenGov stuff, citizen involvement, everyone gets voter registration. But there's also some of these that are more like about data, like Wolfram Alpha for Chicago. Sort of citizen-generated data.
A participatory budget tool, which
Yes.
it's there.
Better evaluation for social programs.
Better, okay. So that's sort of a civic data thing.
But I see you saying it could be a little bit of both. So the question is the distinction between the data part of governing and the people involved or the people process of government. So what, should we separate them into two categories?
And also, like, it seems like a lot of the citizen-generated police stop information, like, that's definitely, like, I would see it more as, like, a process of getting people to send in their information about police stops. Like, it seems like the process of getting people's buy-in would be a lot more of the project than just, like...
It's more about people than app.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, John, I think I'm going to change love. Let's change love to participation. So under that, we've got, tell me if you think these still fit. Events that bring street level orgs together with tech people. Good. Explain this OpenGov stuff. Citizen involvement to influence policy decisions. Everybody gets voter registration cards. Adopt a sidewalk centralized portal.
And that was so youth teams could use it. Yeah, so that's participation.
Okay. Money for civic startups. That seems a little out there.
More jobs.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got tax increment finance TIF exposure. Who wrote that? Is that more of is that a data thing or is that a?
That's a graph, that's data of expenditures, how much money, and graphically shown, so totally understand.
All right. We got smart government under participation. Cool. We've got collaboration over here. We've got easier to fix and use vacant buildings. All right. So what I want to do is get another group up. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give each of these a shape. So if you guys could talk with your group and see, we've got a moon, we've got a circle. You want a star? No, you got a star. That'll confuse people. And a triangle. So if you got some cards that you think go in here, put that shape on them. If you don't, how about you bring them up and stick them on the board?
So if you have anything that doesn't fit, come bring it on the board, but somewhere else.
Marina, can I put you sort of in that back corner? And then for the last, oh man, we got 2 more groups. We got land use, easier to fix and use vacant buildings, land bank, denser communities. Who wants to talk about that? Who wants to facilitate that? All right, what's your name? Katie. Katie. Can I get you to stand, I guess, in that corner by the food? That is a benefit of being that group. You will get to eat first. Collaboration, stuff like legal advice for developers who want to help and are employed. Free cloud servers, collective act towards common goals, city-sponsored guide, directory of cooperative. Anybody want to facilitate that conversation? Stephen, can I get you to stand right here? All right, so I want to read back off the people again before everybody goes to those groups. But what's going to happen is you're going to split off those facilitators if you want to find a quiet space. I know it's going to be a little crazy for a sec to actually talk and have conversations about this and sort of figure out which of the page that you're on. If you need to come back and review this wall, please do. We're going to be breaking people out, and then we're going to come and pat each group and get you up for lunch so you can get that food. Are there any questions, sort of?
Who's where?
Who is where? Exactly. All right. We've got transit in this corner. Give a shout. Transit.
Transit over here.
All right. We've got infrastructure.